Hey, it's time for another original species video. I wonder which one this video is going to be about. Wait a second. I recognize that neon color. Oh god, no. Anything but them. It's Sparkledogs. A long time ago, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and emo and scene were still in their first wave of popularity, before TikToks, before YouTube was the media giant it was today, we had the Sparkledogs. This species might not be the oldest original species to roam the earth, but the effect it's had on the internet is entirely unmatched by any creature and is, to date, still the best example of a truly open original species. The Sparkledog is so fearful a creature that it belongs to no man, nor God themselves, but a creature who one day crawled forth from the abyss of the early internet of its own accord and outshone even our own sun. The Sparkledog is an incredibly easy to explain creature, and it's honestly a surprise that they were as famous, or infamous, as they were. A Sparkledog is simply a species of fursona that is a dog or any other creature that is most commonly depicted with bright neon colors, or colors that are not standard of that particular species. And they typically dress in clothing, patterns, and hairstyles common to the popular emo and scene stylings of the time. The hairstyle they are most commonly depicted with is scene hair or emo shag. If you don't know what that is, just Google scene hair, and you'll get 50 pics that are exactly the same haircut. As for emo hair, just watch early Shane Dawson videos. Actually don't, I can't really recommend his content at all. But basically, it's long bangs or a fringe that is kept spiky like an anime character, usually held aloft with excessive either hair gel or hairspray. I think the popularity of this cut came from anime like Death Note, but trying to figure out which came first, emo or Death Note, is like trying to figure out which came first, the chicken or the egg. There isn't really a solid answer, and guessing is kind of pointless, and also we're not talking about chickens, we're talking about emos. The clothing that they're most commonly depicted in is striped arm warmers and thigh-high socks. Long sleeves and tight jeans were also part of the emo look, but I think arm warmers were more popular just because they were easier to draw, while still giving that same scene feel. Other than that, there isn't any rules to this species. You're supposed to make what you want. They can be edgy, bright, grungy, or cringe-inducing. They don't even have to be a dog. Many Sparkledog characters take the themes of Sparkledogs and apply them to other species. You could even define me as a Sparkledog. I have big hair, a side shave, my wool stops at my mid-thigh, like thigh-highs, and my upper arms, like arm warmers. I use bright colors like yellow, white, pink, and dark purples. While I was never personally involved in this scene, I believe I would have fit in pretty well. Hello everybody, sorry to interrupt your regularly scheduled sparkly programming, but we have a sponsor, and they're an artist. This sponsor is the creator of the model that you're looking at now, Low 3D Arts. Low is a passionate creator who is new to the furry fandom and is finally ready to start diving in and making more community works. They make both 2D and 3D images alongside, as you probably guessed, 3D models. Before this, they were a game artist and have worked on game projects in the past, so they're pretty good with 3D tools. If you want to check out their other works, or commission them, you can follow them on any of these sites. Personally, I'd get in on the ground floor for this artist because I've seen some of their other 3D models that they made, and they're going to start selling bases soon too. So I'd check them out. Their work is definitely up there with other model greats like Skip 4D and Bubblegum Bark. Forgot to mention that they also work fast. They made this model in just a day. Most custom projects I've worked with people on take about a month. Obviously your time may vary, but if you want to get into 3D VTubing with a custom model at a fair price, you should check out Low for their low prices. So why was this species so popular? I think it's because this was the early internet, and many weren't having their art encouraged outside of the internet, so they hopped onto this prototype meme. But also because this kind of character is incredibly self-indulgent, and at this time, during the internet, people weren't obsessed with the commodification of the self that YouTube and social media influencers brought on. We wanted to be ourselves back then, and when we made things, it was what we wanted to make. Not what we thought others wanted to see, and what we thought others would upvote, or like, or whatever would make us money. Because making money through the internet wasn't that common back then. It was still a very new idea. Nowadays, everybody has a PayPal. So Sparkledogs encouraged, enabled, and gave us a community that was centered around true self-expression. But of course, Sparkledogs were equally hated because having fun and enjoying things is cringe. And of course, the community was likely full of baby gays who were using emo and scenes androgyny as a way to express their identity in a way other than the stereotypical gender norms of the time. Cringe culture is often used as a mask to hate on LGBT and neurodivergent people because they lack the supposed social awareness of their quote-unquote normal peers, or just because they don't care what their peers think. So hearing that a primarily queer community like furry emos was getting called cringe probably isn't a surprise to you at all. People hated on them for their bright colors, their breaking of traditional design, the self-indulgence, the cringe, the edginess, the perceived bad design, and lack of respect for color theory. And it might have also been that they were just a little bit jealous that these kids found a way to be themselves and not feel bad about it. Looking back on things that people who hated Sparkledogs said, there's a lot of throwing around of ableist terminology, and you really shouldn't listen to people like that. I'm honestly hoping that this video will inspire some newer generations to dabble more in self-indulgent art and design. Capitalism has really sucked the fun out of things that we used to do for ourselves and has turned them into just another product to be sold. So I would love to see a future movement of Gen Z embracing scene, emo, punk, and self-indulgence through art. All of these things fight against the cultural norms of our times, and teenage rebellion doesn't have to die off when you turn 18. Emo and scene had such a short amount of time in the sun, especially compared to similar countercultures like goth and punk, and I would just really love to see them come back, and with even louder designs than before. But yeah, this was a pretty short one. There's not a lot here for this species, it's just a group of people making very bright and colorful personas. There are a few people who helped with the popularization of this species though, despite not having an owner. And they did this through character making memes, where you answer some questions like a BuzzFeed quiz and then give your favorite color and you use that to make your character. But no one really owns this species or the idea. It's collective property of the artists who made them. So there isn't a species guide or even rules really like other original species. And it's just funny that so many personas nowadays use bright colors, pride flag aesthetics, counterculture, and the like in their design. So it's kind of funny that people fought it for so long. Like, we really pushed back against Sparkledogs, but nowadays, like, you can't go very far without seeing someone who's got a femboy character that's a blue dog with, or blue fox with striped thigh highs and arm warmers. It's pretty common. The Sparkledog never died, it just adopted a new vessel. So it seems like it was an inevitability, because standard is boring, and normal is not normal. Your persona is supposed to be that side of you that you can't express in the everyday world, so don't suppress it. Don't filter your persona. Don't limit yourself for other people's benefit, because what you do will never be enough for others. They will always ask for more. Today, you stop making Sparkledogs, and tomorrow, they'll push you towards some other form of normalcy. Before you know it, you'll be in a business suit working a desk job, or you'll be a hipster who's into crypto. Your identity is yours. You don't have to make it digestible for others. And make sure you make some time to dabble in some self-indulgence now and then. Bye. Before we go, thanks to the patrons, people like Creeper Kitty, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Blonsk, Blinky, Chimera, Ceres, and Romu help keep the lights on. But it's not like it would have really been needed. With how bright the Sparkledogs are, they surely would have lit up the room even if it was pitch black. And thanks for the fan art, Capuchin.
When I thought he was mine, she caught him by the mouth. I waited a long month, she finally said it.